Most game fish are opportunity feeders. When they have the opportunity to eat, they take it. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that they eat all the time, but when the dinner bell is rung, they can and often will eat to the point that their stomachs can't hold anymore. Have you ever caught a fish that upchucked a mouthful of minnows when you brought it to the boat? Or maybe you've caught a fish that was smaller than the lure that you were using. Well, the only way that small fish become bigger fish is to eat a lot and eat often. There are a couple of signs that can point you in the general direction without the aid of high-tech electronics or expert knowledge of the area you're fishing in. And one of the most obvious is surface action. If the surface is relatively calm, then you can spot schools of bait for quite some distance. And if these schools are shimmering or busting the surface, you can pretty much bet there's some big boys harassing them from below. You'll often see the backs of the predator fish breaking the surface, or in the case of an all-out feeding frenzy, the water will explode with leaping kingfish, bonita, or Spanish mackerel. And by the way, if you catch sight of flying fish gliding over the water's surface, that's a great place to start fast trolling some shallow diving plugs. Once you locate a school of moving bait on the surface, the key is to approach them quietly and slowly, even to the point that you may want to try to determine the direction the bait is moving, plot an intercept course, shut down your engines, and wait for them to come to you. Now, moving bait will sound from time to time, and there's really no telling where they'll show up next. But charging into them at full throttle is only going to scatter the fish, make them sound, and you'll get very few casts. Now, predator fish under moving bait can be very selective, so it's important that you match the hatch and you make long